Okay, so first step, you're going to come into the storage cupboard where the stage is at the back of the hall. You will have been given a code that will unlock this padlock. Then you're going to open this door and you'll find the lighting unit in here. Once you've opened the cupboard, you'll find the lighting unit right here. Also, if you need a little table, just a simple little one, you can grab this one here. Otherwise, you can just use any normal table from the storage unit as well. Okay, so with your box, this is just your lighting unit controller. My advice is that you want it out the way ideally, so I find in this corner is really good because there's a power point here. You'll need a double power point, and then with your little table it works really great, but you can set it up anywhere in the hall that has a power point nearby. You're going to have two power plugs that are going to come with it. You need to plug those into the wall. One of these plugs will fit into the side over here, and then you can just switch that on later on. The second one is going to come into this one here. This is your aerial. This is what communicates up to your light. So if for some reason nothing's happening, it means that either the power points come out or it's not plugged in correctly. There should be a little red light that you will see that will come on there. If you want to come up closer. Okay, if you need lighting, there's also a little USB light that can just come into this panel here. Just be able to help you see that later on. Okay, we'll come back to this shortly, but what we need to do now is you'll be able to grab a broom just from the cleaning cupboard that's on the way to the kitchen, and we're just going to turn on some power switches now for your lights. So there's 4 sets that you need to turn on. You can turn on both switches just so that you're sure that you've got them both on. Just flip them down. Not sure where they are, just look for the big black lights at the top up there. Same thing. Just flip the power point on. Third one. And the fourth one, same thing, you can turn both power points on. Don't worry, that will turn the speaker on as well. That's okay. Alright, once they're on, you're going to hear them turn on, but you won't see any lights come on. Then we're going to come back over to the lighting desk. Okay, making sure that both your power points are on at the wall. Then you're going to turn on the switch to the controller, which will turn this up. Once we've done that, we're now into being able to choose what sets of lights that we want to go on. So I'm just going to turn the lights off in this building so that we can see and show you what it does. Okay, so your 4 main light switches for the hall are located by the foyer entry doors, just on the inside of the hall. So we can switch all of those off. I've left the curtains open at the moment, so we've got a bit of daylight to work with. This switch here, if you need the disco ball on, this one where it says do not touch, you can flick up the tab, flick the switch on, and then that will turn on the disco ball. It's really important if you do decide to use the disco ball that you do turn it off when it's not in use, otherwise it will burn out the motor and you need to replace that, which is a bit of a tricky job. Okay, so once you're back at your board, you've turned your switch on, you've turned the lights off in your hall so that you can see it well. You can just turn this little light on by just giving it a tap. Tapping it a few more times makes it brighter. Up here, you're going to see where it says fixture, movement, scene, and chase. What we're going to do is you're only going to use presets. So you're going to push the button scene, push it once, and the blue light will light up. Then to choose any scene, you're going to choose any of the numbers 1, 2, 3, or 4 at the moment are programmed, or 13, 14, 15, 16. You can use them in combination and they'll do different things. So if we choose number 1, and then we go and have a look at what's happened, you can see up here, number 1 is set off the disco ball, and it's given us blue and green lights that we're working with. The disco ball's spinning because you turned on the switch earlier. If you don't want it spinning, just flick off the switch back where you were before. Okay, what I'm going to do now is try some different buttons. So if we choose number 2, while number 1 is going, you'll notice now that we've got some different color has been added in. So we've got some red, some orange, And what happens is, as we push these different buttons, different combinations will come. So you can just experiment with them. For example, you could have all 1, 2, 3, and 4 going, and it will give you some different things. Like now we have on the wall, we have like a spiraling one going on. And if you just stay watching there, as I push number 3 off, we've got some lights in the corner that are starting to light up the stage area if we had staging down here. So what we've got over here is, so we've got all those different 8 combinations that you can work with. In future, I may have programmed some other ones as well, but any of these at the moment will give you different styles. You can take any of them off and just try different combinations, see what you like. The only thing I'm willing for you to do with this board after this point is if you want to adjust any of the fixtures, you can push the fixture button and then you can change individual fixtures if you know how to use a lighting board. I'm not willing, however, for you to change my scenes. These are set. You are welcome to hire a lighting professional. We have Concept Lighting that does work for us. You're welcome to use them, use their full setup and kit. But for this is pre-tuned for our own events and initiatives. So please, once you've pushed the scene button and chosen any scenes, you're welcome to use the fixture button to adjust fixtures individually, but do not record any new scenes. So please, no playing with any buttons, no trying to record scenes of your own. Thank you for that, and now I'm going to take you through how to pack up and put it all away. Okay, so it's time to pack down our board. So what we're going to do is, first of all, we're going to be back on the scene button. We're going to make sure that our scenes, if they were on, just making sure that they're all off, so that all blue lights are off on the panel. Once we've done that, we're going to switch off the power switch. That should turn off the unit. We're going to unplug the little light. We're going to unplug your power cable here, unplug the power cable that was into the aerial. That'll then make it easy to lift up the board. Then there's just a little switch just here. You're going to push that switch down and then that will easily come out. Grab your plugs from the wall. And then we're just going to put those all back in the box where they came from, return it back into the storage cupboard. Then we're going to head over, make sure our disco ball is off, so just reversing the same thing, just push the off switch, and then we're going to go back around with the pole and just turn off all the light switches that you turned on before that were up in the double PowerPoint panels. And that's it. Make sure that the cupboard is locked away, that the padlock is back on the cupboard, and we thank you and hope that it went really well.